Hey guys, welcome back to the 6th annual Andy Awards, film and / film asterisk annual celebration of films from the year before. It's me, Connor, and today, usual me, Connor, is joined by usual other guy who's also on this show most of the time, usually, sometimes, always, Dan.
Howdy, and welcome back, yes, to the Andes, or the Ampersandies, as it has been called
it's
sometimes.
Just the Andes.
Well, it's the symbol, so you could say it either way.
Ampersandi sounds like a weird kid who went to my middle school.
Ampersandies. Well, like a Swedish foreign exchange student or something.
I shouldn't call them weird. I'm sure they're plenty nice. I'm part of the problem. just saying they're weird. I don't even know Ampersandi. I should be nice.
Welcome to the Andes.
Welcome to the Andes.
Yes. It is all 6th edition. Oh my goodness. 6 years on. Still running strong. And if you have tuned into our nominations episode, you know that we have a really exciting batch of movies that came out in 2024 that we have been able to represent in the nominations. And now we have tasked ourselves with the ever impossible decision of picking one out of the top 5, which could all be number 1 in a major way. So yeah, it's absolute joy to be back. Yeah, Connor, what has your journey to this year's Andes celebration been like?
It's been okay. It's been pretty good.
Good.
It's been a very good year. 2024 was a very good year for movies. I think we both kind of agree it's the best, especially since the pandemic, since 2020.
2019. All
since we
first
started
Andes,
this, really, I guess. But yeah, I mean, this year, I think in terms of pure like letterbox statistics, this is the most 5-star movies ever had for a single year.
Wow.
I think I was up to like 8 or 9.
It's the most for me too. I'm up to 0.
I know you're very particular with your 5 stars.
I am. I'll admit it. Usually, if I'm breaking down my stats, I maybe find 1 a decade if I'm lucky. But no, that certainly doesn't hinder my enjoyment of finding movies that I'd like to nominate or movies that I love every year. And yeah, this is definitely the strongest year we've had. Considering
that 5 of the 9 Best Picture nominees are 5-star movies for me.
Wow.
It's a pretty good year.
Pretty fantastic, man. Well then, hey, without further ado, let's just dive right in. First category, Best Production.
The nominees for Best Production are The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Furiosa, A Mad Max Saga, Megalopolis, and The Substance. And the Andy goes to Dune Part 2.
Woo! Yeah! Dune Part 2. Doing the one-handed clap there.
Yes. Or we affectionately refer to it in this home and many other homes, much like it, Tune.
Tune, yes. The second epic sort of finale of the Dune novelization adaptation of the Frank Herbert sci-fi. You guys know the movie.
You know the movie. You know
it. Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet, a very huge film, one of the most beloved by critics and fans alike. And yeah, an amazing production. Obviously, we're talking here about the costumes, the set design, the makeup, and everything that was such a strong point, that was such a visual feast in the first one, translates into the second, except they're able to do it on a slightly bigger scale.
Yeah.
And they're able to do it all while having such a unique perspective on how on having to expand this world, because we were given so many new locations that we need to fill in. You know, we're talking about the planet of
Arrakis?
No, the
Oh,
bad
what is?
guys.
Oh, I have no idea what the Harkonnen planet's
Like,
called.
is it like Gady Prime?
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
yeah.
So we're talking
So
about
like
like
that.
Gady Prime of the Harkonnens. We're talking about Arrakis and the whole southern continent we haven't seen before. And as well,
The Emperor's
the
planet.
beautiful
Yeah.
scenes in the Emperor's planet. All of that put together makes for some of the most
Even just
amazing.
like the Fremen like caves. And,
Yeah.
that amazing arena where we first meet Fade. They mentioned the bountiful gardens of the Emperor's planet. Not to mention, like, for me, each of these nominations, there's kind of one aspect of the production that stands out above all the others.
Yeah.
And obviously, when I think about Dune, I think about the beautiful production design. But when we rewatched clips from Dune Part 2 to show you my sound bar,
Yes.
I kept commenting on Florence Pugh's headdresses in the movie.
Yes.
And the costume design is just so incredible. And yeah, it's like the showy stuff, like the headdress, but even like the still suits and all the different armor.
It's for me a big part of it is the magic of how and again I think this works into like a lot of the original illustrations and all the iterations of the Dune world that we've gotten, combining those together. And I love how so many of the people who have approached this book in an attempt to visualize it for the reader or the watcher look to the costumes and look to the architecture and the set design and try and find striking dichotomies between those.
Yeah.
Because it's not always like, oh, there's the Bene Gesserit walking through, but it's their shapes contrasted with the shape of this crazy oval round doorway into this great chasm-like room. And it's like all these epic images that add to the grand scope of the universe of Dune. And it's great. So congrats on the win, everyone involved. I mean, this is a huge army of people with this category every time. So like, heck yeah.
Yeah. Get your gom jabars out, celebrate. Because you recall, Dan, Dune has the, I guess you could say honor, but I guess dishonor in a weird way. Of it is the only film to receive, I believe, 6 Andy nominations and win 0. So Dune Part 2 is I'm glad, kind of breaking the streak.
Coming through.
Hopefully Messiah continues the streak of picking up some certificates.
We'll see. Yeah. As always, if anyone from the costume, set design, or makeup departments want to accept this PDF award on behalf of Dune Part 2, we will be more than happy to hear from you. It is waiting for you. But yeah, so moving on, we actually have our first non-in-competition award that we're giving out. This is the Andy Serkis Award, which, what do we award this for?
The Andy Serkis Award, given out for excellence, either vocal and or motion capture performance.
And yeah, so this year we have decided to award this to, this is a couple of many names, but Eric Winquist, Julia Niley, Patrick Niley, and Sean Noel Walker for
The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is, I believe, the 4th film in the new reboot iteration of the Planet of the Apes movies. This one, I mean, it's a huge VFX team going into this, obviously, and a huge motion capture team. Particularly, is it Weta?
Yeah, I believe Weta does it all.
It's a lot of Weta Digital, which of course we have praised many a time on and off the awards
winner of
circuit.
the visual effects category once already.
Yes. And once again, they have done something amazing. And I think one of the aspects of this film particularly that allowed us to kind of understand the scope and the might and the quality in which that they're bringing these visuals to life in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes with these motion capture apes is releasing all those scenes and those cuts of
the raw cut,
the raw cut, where you actually get to see everything that the visual effects directors and the crew are working with to create it. What basically their raw data, which is people in parking lots just jumping up and down.
People in parking lots, sometimes just empty parking lots.
Yep.
Proxima Caesar's camp is just an empty parking lot.
Yep. Which you go there and you see it on the big screen and you would never think that for a second.
No, you would not.
But I mean, it is truly amazing what these people are able to, how they can bring this world to life. And I know you had mentioned one specific scene about the orangutan.
Raka in the water.
Raka in the water. Which, again, obviously we're living in a post-Way of Water world where water, whether it's underwater or rushing water, VFX, motion capture, animation.
Water is something that's been simulated to VFX for a very long time.
Yes.
It's starting to get, like, air quotes, perfected during Titanic. Mm-hmm. But Weta, who actually has, like, multiple patents on, like, water simulation because of what they did with Way of Water, has really found a way to, like, beyond crack that whole system. And the water interaction with Raka and any of the ape's fur in that scene, but in any scene in that movie, is just utterly incredible. One of the many, countless aspects that make that movie so seamless in its VFX.
Yeah.
And these men and women obviously have done their part in putting that into fruition. These people, but also people who ever worked with them, thank you for your amazing work, and we're happy to give you this tiny, but to us, very significant honor of the Andy Serkis Award.
Heck yeah. So moving on, our next category is Best Editing. And the nominees are David Yansko for The Brutalist, Logan George for Caddo Lake, Marco Costa for Challengers, Mike Cheslick for Hundreds of Beavers, and Nathan Orloff and Shane Reed for Saturday Night. And the winner is Marco Costa for Challengers. Yeah.
Sorry to sneeze.
I've been trying my best to breathe outside the microphone, but yeah, so he won. It's that whole chocolate rain.
Yes.
I breathe away from the mic, and now we're talking. Challengers, a dense, epic, athletic drama from Luca Guadagnino, director extraordinaire, giving us another amazingly paced film.
Yes,
yeah. And thanks to the talents of Marco Costa.
Yeah, incredibly propulsive movie.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
That flies. You're going through, 14 years of time,
just
right?
about, yeah.
And it's a little over 2 hours and never feels its pace. I watched that movie 2 days in a row in a theater. I had to go see it a second time in IMAX.
Yeah.
And that thing flies. I have not watched it its entirety since, but I revisit the scenes from that movie all the time.
Yeah.
And the utter artistry that Marco Costa employs in that edit, where you can literally lose 2 hours like that, is utterly incredible. And all these nominees, like I said in the nominations episode, are firmly built on pace.
Yes.
And pace is it's the lifeblood of a film, but I would argue it's the backbone and a lot of the organs too. If your movie is improperly paced, you are going to be miserable.
And even having a scene like just two men eating churros. And it's just filled with this amazing tension. Mm-hmm. And it's thanks to stuff like the edit. So, bravo, Marco Costa. Moving on, next category, Best VFX.
The nominees for visual effects are Arcadian, Dune Part 2, Hundreds of Beavers, The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Twisters. And the Andy goes to The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. For those of you who recall, we usually do the Circus Award later in the evening, but it felt kind of maybe not counterintuitive, but maybe a little too much patting ourselves in the back to be like, yes, you won the VFX, Andy, and yes, congrats. We're giving you the Circus Award.
Yes.
We decided the Circus Award weeks ago, but I think, as I am prone to say in these things, I think Kingdom winning was kind of, you can say it with me at home, if you ever bingo cards, undeniable.
Yes.
Undeniable. I think it was undeniable that the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes won. I mean, the Planet of the Apes franchise has always been on the cutting edge of effects.
Yeah, since 1968, it's always been.
It's either prosthetics all the way up to the Burton apes, and now with the Kingdom and the trilogy before it, cutting edge motion capture. And all these amazing performers, on little stilts, and the men and women behind the computers realizing that vision.
The fact that both the people who do the digital render and both those who do the motion capture acting and directing and producing have to work so in tandem, so in simpatico to make a world so visually stunning, to make it so affecting for the audience, to add the humanity into a world of apes, of intelligent creatures who have as much empathy and sympathy and pain and violence as us humans. And I think that's always been kind of the the pathos of any of these Planet of the Apes movies. And it's really cool to see that in that sense, these films have always kind of kept that at their core. And we love that, and we love being able to celebrate it here. So congrats. Okay, a big one coming up here. Here we
Always
go.
hotly contested.
Always hot. Best cinematography. As always, so many amazing cinematographers this year, but we have narrowed it down to 5, and here are all the nominees. Drew Daniels for Honora, Lowell Crawley for The Brutalist, Rob Haldy for Civil War, Soyombu Mudikprom for Challengers, and Yoshio Kitagawa for Evil Does Not Exist. And the winner is Soyombu Mudikprom for Challengers.
Listen, with cinematography, like you said, Mudik Prom's work here is utterly incredible. Gorgeous 35 millimeter, beautiful grain structure, beautiful colors. It's nuts. And like, I know with the cinematography, it always feels kind of goofy to me to like say repeatedly, it just looks so good.
Yeah.
But this is incredible looking film, and just one of the countless aspects that make Challengers incredible as it is.
Yeah. I think for me, one of the reasons Challengers, when I was looking at these 5, one of the reasons Challengers stuck out to me, this actually being, of all these, the first film I saw of, I think, this calendar year of the 5 of these, when I'm looking at them all, I believe. So, and there's something about the iconography of Challengers' cinematography that has just stuck with me so much, where something as often as I'm reminded of the scene on the beach when all 3 tennis players first meet when they're in high school, or we talk about, the see-through Colt shot, the clear glass Colt shot. And it's really amazing to see all these sequences just continue to stick with me. And it's, there's so many elements that goes into the film, and the fact that the cinematography can be this long-lasting, I think, is one of the main reasons for me that it's taken home the Andy today.
Yes, yeah.
What do we got next?
The nominees for stunt work are Cuckoo, Gladiator 2, Monkey Man, The Substance, and Wicked. And the Andy goes to The Substance.
Connor, when I see Demi Moore fall on that bathroom floor, I feel it. I feel it every time, and it hurts.
Oh, Dan, I thought you were doing one of those like kooky like award monologues they do at the Oscars, where it's like when Demi Moore falls on that floor, we all fall on that floor.
Oh my God.
Because we understand her. Like, I thought that's what you were doing.
Pain somehow feels good in a place like this.
When Sue kicks her into that giant
the back closet?
The back closet, but also that giant framed photograph, Elizabeth Sparkle.
Oh, yes.
When she slams her head into the mirror. That entire fight with Elizabeth Sparkle and Sue is utterly unhinged. It is astoundingly graphic.
Yeah. All of the transfers from one woman to the other via the substance.
Yes.
Absolutely visceral.
Yeah.
And you feel every rip and gut punch. And that, obviously, that's going to bring you in with some of the sound design, some of the practical makeup work. But it's amazing. Yeah. Also, just consider Demi Moore at the end of the movie having to act and work in some of her insane costumes and bodily additions.
Or even Mark Qualley, and to a lesser extent, Demi Moore's aerobic dance scenes, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Demi Moore's cooking scenes when she's furiously cooking and having to time all that so perfectly.
There are more overtly stunt-driven movies on this list, obviously.
Yes.
But when I think about pure viscerality of the craft and me feeling every single hit, The Substance is.
Yes.
But the stonework and part of being of the everything of that movie is incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy we're able to award the team behind The Substance for this.
Yeah. Connor? Respect the balance.
Yeah. You know what they did, Dan? They did respect the balance.
They did respect that balance.
They made a well-balanced motion picture, and they understood that stunt work is a crucial part of retaining the balance.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. Moving on. We got best score. Always a very special category for me. Very excited about these nominees. So, yeah, here they are. We have Daniel Bloomberg for The Brutalist, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for Challengers, Eiiku Ishibashi for Evil Does Not Exist, Gins Zobalatis and Richard Zalup for Flow, and Matthew Hook for O Canada. And the winner is Gins Zobalatis and Richard Zalup for Flow. Yeah, there it is.
Again, I'm very excited to see the cat tear up the certificate.
Woo!
I'm excited to see it make biscuits on the certificate.
Just take a nap, make a
little biscuits and take a
little nap in a sunbeam on a PDF certificate of its Andy win.
That's in reference to the wonderful work he has done post winning the Oscar with the cat knocking the Oscar over on the boat.
Very cute.
Very,
if you want to see
cute.
it, it's on Gins's YouTube page.
Channel, yeah.
It's very cute.
But I know, Dan, we busted some brackets with this one.
We did.
And I apologize to those who had their brackets busted.
Yes.
But
apologies.
I know Reznor and Ross were really the favorites in this category, like they were for a lot of other score wins.
Yeah, and let's not forget to mention Daniel Bloomberg, the Oscar winner this year.
But Gintz and Richards, we're very happy that you got this honor, and we're very happy to give it to you. Flow, a movie with no dialogue, entirely not performed by animals necessarily, animated, no human characters in the movie.
Yeah.
The score in that part where you're dealing with characters who cannot verbally articulate their feelings, like any film, obviously, but this, especially here, the score is crucial for the emotionality of the piece.
Yeah.
And if you to truly connect with the characters on screen. And if you know my feelings on Flow whatsoever, you know I had absolutely no problem with connecting emotionally to the characters on the screen.
I think we're going to come back to the 2020s. If we're looking at animation in this decade, Flow is going to be one of those films that is looking towards the future of animation, digital animation at least, and looking to elevate those stories, to evolve those stories. And one of the ways it does that is by not having dialogue, by being able to be so emotionally affecting through its various score pieces, using the music, as I said kind of in the Noms episode, as the language of the film, the emotional resonator for the audience. And I love particularly that the music is so on display here.
Yeah.
You are so focused in on it. You can really feel every character because the music is giving you that chance. It's giving you that voice.
Yeah. We love you and appreciate you, and obviously we want to award you any way we can. I'm glad you're able to get your certificate, Gintz, if you want it. If there's someone who would contest, I feel like it would be Gintz, and I'd be honored, sir.
It'd be lovely. But yeah, so this kind of concludes our first half of the Andes. Take this chance to grab a drink, grab a snack, go to the bathroom, and we'll be back in just a minute with the second half of this year's Andes. Alright, welcome back to the 6th annual Andes Awards. We are celebrating the films of 2024. We're now about 6 or 7 categories in, and we are now finishing up with our acting categories, as well as directing, Best Picture, and the Thomas and Mackenzie Award. But before we get there, we're starting off with our supporting acting categories. And first up is Best Supporting Actor.
The nominees for Best Supporting Actor are Yuri Borisov, Anora, Austin Butler, Dune Part 2, Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain, Harris Dickinson, Baby Girl, and Clarence Macklin, Sing Sing. And the Andes, plural. Wow.
What?
Crazy.
Whoa.
Go to Yuri Borisov for Nora and Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain.
Whoa. It's a tie.
It's a tie.
Well, howdy do. It's been a couple years since we had a tie.
I know. It's funny we have to act surprised, but no, we were well aware. Unlike the Academy, we do know what's in the envelopes.
Yes, we do, because we are also the voting body.
We're the only two members of the voting body. We were at a standstill, to say the least.
We're at our wits' end trying to pick.
Yes, about who to give the certificate to. So I'm very glad to give it to both these performers.
I appreciate how each one kind of represents a different bright spot of supporting acting in this year of cinema.
Kieran's been around forever, since Home Alone.
Yes.
But I've been a fan of him since Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and now with Succession. And he's somebody who's obviously gotten a lot of acclaim for Succession. And now this, the guy is already halfway to his EGOT, which I think he's going to get the Tony next year for Glengarry Glen Ross. So the guy's simply one of the greats right now. Working on forever. And I'm excited he was able to deliver this performance this year. And then Yuri Borisov, obviously a much bigger star in Russia than he is here.
Yes.
But I'm glad Sean was able to attract him over here to the States to do a Nora and deliver a very subtle, nuanced performance. Like we talked about with the nominations episode, that Sean's characters kind of defy cliche, and they defy prior classification. And the Igor character in any other movie would have just been the quiet henchman guy.
Yeah.
And you would not have got the depth that Yura is capable of, and I'm glad that Sean, in the writing process, realized the depths of this character, and that he did indeed find Yura, who was able to fulfill those depths. The next category is Best Supporting Actress. The nominees are Autumn Best, Woman of the Hour, Leslie Manville, Queer, Satara Maliki, Seed of the Sacred Fig, Aubrey Plaza, Megalopolis, and Margaret Qualley, The Substance. Okay.
And the winner is Margaret Qualley for The Substance. Margaret Qualley, who herself had a amazing year in alt house cinema.
Yes.
Kind of hit a emotional peak with her disgusting, beautiful, epic performance in The Substance.
Yeah.
What can be said?
Yeah, it's like Emma Stone in Poor Things last year. She delivers a fearless performance.
Yes.
And one that is so tied into this utter toxicity of beauty standards and how we view women in our society, and also playing into the disgusting glamour of that, but also as she does fall apart at the end, gives a truly horrific performance.
Yes. Being Demi Moore's sort of foil in the film, someone who has regained that beauty and youth as that character and has now basically selfishly taken a hold of it in a way that playing into the expectations of the beauty standards. Well, and the thing is, when you're in it and you can live it, it's not an issue, you know?
Sue is kind of the personification of violence in a way.
Yeah.
Like, she is the personification of beauty standards. She is the ideal that will tear away at you, the one that you wish you could see in the mirror, you know?
Yeah. Next up, we actually have our second of two special non-competition awards that we hand out here at the Andes. We have the Thomasin McKenzie Award, which honors a certain individual in the film industry who has had a significant year in cinema, a year that felt like could have been defined by their work and their achievement. So, this year, we have decided to award the Thomasin McKenzie Award to Zendaya for her performances in Dune Part 2 and Challengers. And yeah, I can't imagine another individual who had a year like Zendaya did this year.
Yeah.
You know, obviously with her work in the epic and large and successful Dune Part 2, but only a few weeks later coming out with, in my opinion, is her greatest performance, Challengers.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And ironically enough, this wasn't even supposed to be her year. It was supposed to be last year.
It should have been last year.
Because both those movies were delayed by the strikes.
Yes, but here we are in 2025, celebrating Zendaya for 2024, even though it should have been 2023.
arguably one of the two biggest cultural touchstones of 2024.
Yeah.
Challengers for the girlies and Dune for the boys.
Yeah.
You know, Dune for the fellas.
Dune for the fellas.
But I mean, I joke, but like those movies have such unique cultural implications, both of them, and like you said, being so close together. And I mean, imagine if they came out the same weekend. Imagine if we had what had been Chune.
Dunagers.
Dunagers. Whatever it would have been. But no, Zendaya, I think, really is like the Oppenheimer of this year. I think she is kind of that cultural touchstone.
Yeah.
And I think she's somebody, obviously, who has had an amazing career already and is going to continue to have an amazing career. Obviously, she's already in Nolan's next project. Yes. His post-Oppenheimer win.
Yes.
His blank check for The Odyssey.
Yeah. So, bravo to Zendaya. And, yeah, moving on to Best Actor. And the nominees for Best Actor are Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Daniel Craig for Queer, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Josh Hartnett for Trap, and Dylan O'Brien for Caddo Lake. And the winner is Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. I'm speechless. Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing.
Are you speechless?
No, I'm not speechless. Coleman Domingo has just become one of the greatest breakout actors and of this decade. Obviously, working with Zendaya in Euphoria, moving on to
another guy who's been around forever.
Yes, and has continued to just be a constant presence. And I'm happy that he now has the platform to be in the films and projects and to star in those projects that he has. And Sing Sing is another amazing example of that, as the incarcerated lover of literature, Divine G.
Divine G. Whitfield, yeah.
Yes. And, it was, I remember getting to catch this one. I think I went with my sister at the Roxy, rest in peace, the Roxy Theater in Burlington, Vermont, no more. And it was, again, the emotional potency of Coleman Domingo's performances is never watered down in any chance. And I mean, that is just a testament to his quality as an actor. And it's amazing because I believe he won last year. No?
He did win last year, yes.
This man
You're well
has
aware
now
he
won
won last
back-to-back Andes for Best Actor.
Well, not just that he won back-to-back Andes.
Yeah.
He's the only person to win, too. And I forget which publication it was, but a prominent magazine referred to him as I believe the first openly queer black movie star. And the fact that it's crazy, it's 2025, where that's the first openly queer black movie star. But if anyone is going to be the first, I'm glad it's Coleman.
Yeah.
Because he is somebody who is utterly freaking incredible.
Yes.
I saw myself more swearing, though I know I can swear because this isn't the radio anymore. But he's somebody who understands the power of influence. But he's somebody who is leveraging his success not just to lift himself up, but lift up others around him.
Yeah.
It was important to him that every single actor on that movie, every single person on the crew, the director, everybody was paid the exact amount, same money. There was no pay inequity on that movie.
Yeah.
And it's important to him that they're making that movie together. It is all of their movies. We are all working just as hard. We're all going to make just as much. And he's just a beautiful soul. The guy's the best.
It's
I'm Goliath is here. I'll smash him and bash him, whether short or tall. Got it? And then I come out and say the most profound line. If you help me escape, consider it done. And remember, everybody, say it like it's really funny because it's a comedy. Ha ha ha! It's a fucking comedy, yeah.
So, yeah. Moving on, we have Best Actress. Connor, you want to list off the nominees?
The nominees for Best Actress are Kristen Dunst, Civil War, Nicole Kidman, Baby Girl, Mikey Madison, Honora, Micah Monroe, Long Legs, Demi Moore, The Substance. And the Andy goes to Mikey Madison, Honora. And, I mean, here's the thing. I'm going to bust it out again. Pardon the expression. This is undeniable.
No, it's deniable.
Here's the thing.
I think all these four women could have.
I know people.
They could have won. They all could have had a chance.
People have
They're
denied.
all great.
Here's the thing. Obviously, all other 4 of these women are people that I loved in this category.
Yeah.
Mikey Madison, for me this year with Honora, she is a shooting star. Like, she's phosphorus, okay? Like, I have not seen a performance in a very long time that has blown me away the way she has.
Yeah, when it comes to the idea of an actor immersing themselves inside a role and committing to a role that, once again, like, in the sense of, like we had said in the nominations episode, each with their own kind of sense of bravery, trying to kind of capture this character and who they are fully, you know, as you know, you would do with your lead performance. No, Mikey Madison, I think, just goes leaps and bounds to absolutely capture who Honora is and why it's so important that we all can resonate with her character, what she's going through in her life, and the smiles and the tears that she has along the way.
Yes. And Dan, we do not know what Mikey is doing next. Oh, I cannot wait to find out what Mikey Madison is doing next.
I know, right? Yeah, there's a lot of aspects to Mikey's performance, particularly with how she goes in preparing for the character and what she brings to the screen with her preparation that I love, that I always look at and I'm like, the amount of work I feel like she needed to do for someone who isn't from these walks of life.
No.
You know? And is able
quite
to,
literally a valley girl.
Yeah, and is able to capture that and immerse herself so much. Because for me, I always felt like acting, the purest form of acting can be some of the most empathetic stuff we do. You know, as an artist, as an actor, you act to learn about others and to connect with others through your character.
Yes.
Understand who is this person, and being able to kind of understand other walks of life that you have never lived, but you learn from by existing in that world.
Yes.
And it's the betterment of people who act it out and the betterment of those who get to watch them act it out. And that's the beauty of cinema, Connor.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, she won an Oscar for her 8th movie. I'm excited to see what she's doing by her 16th.
yeah, yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
What? Did you not hear what I said? I said it's because your son's a fucking pussy.
Все, пошли.
And you are a disgusting hooker. And your son hates you so much he married one to piss you off.
Listen up.
Yeah. Now your family's fucking trash. Is this my scarf? Yeah, you want... Yeah, go get your little scarf, sweetie.
That's enough. Let's go.
Oh, I'm leaving.
Okay.
You know what? Why don't you take your fucking coat, too?
That's enough. Let's go.
All right, well, moving on, we have 2 categories left, and let's start off with Best Director. And the nominees for Best Director are Sean Baker for Honora, Coralie Farjar for The Substance, Luca Guadagnino for Challengers, Ryosuke Hamaguchi for Evil Does Not Exist, and Gins Zilbalatis for Flow. And the Andy goes to Luca Guadagnino for Challengers. Luca Guadagnino gave us an amazing 1-2 punch this year with Challengers and Queer, 2 of my favorite films of the year. And while I find myself sometimes preferring the experience of Queer and the atmosphere of Queer, I feel like his apex of directing, almost period, throughout his career has been Challengers. Because being able to capture this amazing, expansive script, this story and these characters, and to bring it all together into such a cohesive and exciting, edge-of-your-seat thrill ride, a film that can give you the spectrum of emotion from one end to the other, and to fully capture who these 3 little tennis players are, who these kids grow up to be, and how their fascinating social triangle changes and evolves and morphs over the years is just so fascinating. And it's an amazing character study, and it's jaw-dropping directing from Luca, and there's very little else I could say about it, because overall with this year, Luca for me has become my favorite working director. I can't see anyone else who has had the 5-movie run from Call Me by Your Name, Suspiria remake, Bones and All, Challengers, and Queer. I don't see another director who has had a run like that in their career, who's working today, who's working to not only evolve cinema, to push it forward, to give us new stories, but to do it so unabashedly, to do it so vividly, that it's just a beautifully kind of undeniable statement of everything, you know, of who we are as people now, who we've been, what we can learn from that. And there's just I could go on and on and on and on. I could also go on and on. So yeah, Luca, thank you so much for this movie. Thank you so much for your constant efforts to continue the art of cinema as something that's meant to be redefined with every year, with every passing second of who we are as just a human race. And I really feel like he loves capturing that in the big scale with these smaller stories. So heck yeah.
Okay, do you want to go first for picture?
Yes. Is there anything you want to say about Luca?
No, I think you have really kind of nailed it. But he's somebody who constantly delivers. I need to catch up on his earlier work. I think his first feature is called The Actors, right? The one with
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton, it's on Mubi.
Yeah, I think he has like 4 or 5 films before he gets to Call Me by Your Name.
I need to go back and revisit those.
We both need to. And one category remains. Best
picture?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's what we're doing?
Yes. You can go first.
I'll just read them all.
First one. Go for it.
Sure, I can just read them all?
If you want to. I'm okay with it. You want to do the full, yeah.
Okay. The nominees for Best Picture are Honora, Baby Girl, The Brutalist, Challengers, Civil War, Evil Does Not Exist, Flow, Queer, and Sing Sing. And the Best Picture for the 6th Annual Andy Awards is Challengers. I mean, you probably saw this coming.
Yes, I mean if you're looking at the various, I believe this is its 5th win of the evening.
4th win, 5th nomination.
Sorry, it's 4th win of the evening.
Yeah.
Behind a lot of amazing aspects and categories that we've already previously discussed. But yes, I mean, as far as an iconic cultural touchstone in 2024, to its riveting imagery in its cinematography, to its propulsive score, its amazing lead performances, and in my opinion, an apex of directing from Luca Guadagnino, this film really rose to the top for us as the Best Picture winner.
It does break our streak 4 years in a row of biopics winning. So we're finally off the biopic train.
Yay!
It's still a period piece.
When you told me that we had given it to biopics like
4 years in a row,
I was like, no. And then I was like, oh no.
Yeah, The Lighthouse was our last non-biopic. Which here's the thing. We're not immune to movies that are good.
No, we're not.
And it's no, but Challengers, still a period piece. Mm-hmm. We still have not broken the period piece. But a very, very deserving win. And I mean, we and Dan kind of talked about this last night, but I told my girlfriend Erica back in April when Challengers came out, it's like, oh, that's going to win Best Picture.
And I was talking to Angelina, and I was like, this thing has a real good shot at some Andes, let me tell you.
Yes.
And it turns out it came true.
I was right. Yeah. It won Best Picture.
How about that?
No, here's the thing. Just leave it. Here's the thing. Honest to goodness, Dan. Dan, put this in after you cut out my entire rant about Amazon MGM. I'm very glad the Blu-ray exists. I think it is important to preserve movies in the absolute best quality possible on a disc. And while the 4K format exists and you have a movie that is shot gorgeously on 35 millimeter that you for some reason are not putting on the platform is a bummer. And I think as physical media continues to sadly lose prominence with not just American households, but households across the globe. And we are actively at risk of losing important movies. not Challengers. Challengers is an important movie. We're not at risk of losing that. Fiscal media is important. Film preservation is important. And if you can do what you can to own the movies that you love, and to do what you can to support repertory screenings, and to maybe, if you have the means or the interest to preserve film prints yourself, please do it. It's important.
Absolutely.
And physical media is important. I know it is more convenient to stream. I know it is often cheaper to stream. But if you do love movies, you should love preserving them as well.
But yeah, this has been the 6th annual Andes. As always, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for supporting this program and supporting film. If you've seen any of these movies, what did you think? Did you like them? Did you hate them?
Hopefully you liked them.
Yeah, I hope so. And if you haven't listened to them, I hope if you haven't watched them, I hope we have given you some good recommendations to catch up on the cinematic year that was 2024. As always, you can catch us on some of our thoughts at our Letterboxd accounts. I am DA_N.
And I'm Crandberry18. That is CRAND Berry18.
And with that, have a lovely rest of the day and happy watching.
Happy watching. Buy movies. Support them. Please.
I thought you said goodbye movies. Goodbye movies.
Here's the thing. If you don't want to say goodbye movies, then you should buy movies. Okay, baby, let's go.
All right.
Bye, guys. Thank
Bye.
you for listening. Thank you for watching the motion pictures. And, yeah. Thank you, guys. It means a lot to me that I get to do this. So bye.